first video on the channel, dude. First video, I want to talk about investing. This channel is going to be mostly based on business, money, life, just like talking about random topics in that category. So, investing, dude. I'm 21, just turned 21, and I've done quite a bit of investing so far in my life. I've been blessed enough and, worked hard enough to be able to afford to invest a decent amount for my age. And the biggest thing that I've kind of realized how amazing my situation has been is that I've started investing so early, especially compared to most people. Like, most people don't even start, for example, my parents were scared to invest. Like, yes, they have a 401k, but they don't have investments outside of that, which is just like, it is crazy to even think about, because in my day and age and the online world I'm in for my business, everyone invests. Literally everyone invests, and it would just be frowned upon to not, is basically how different the situations have been over generations. So, starting out, I'm just very grateful that I started investing at the time that I did, because I started at either late 18 or when I first turned 19. It was that time. So I've been investing for 2.5 years now, and I mean, it's just great. Everything is compounded as I've added more and more and more into my investments. It's already started to compound, and I'm only 2.5 years in. Imagine 15 years down the line. So, number one thing, start investing, dude. It doesn't matter how much you're putting in. I've invested a significant amount, which has helped with the compounding already, but it doesn't matter how much you're putting in. Just put money into investments. And what I mean by investments is, there's a lot of different ways to invest, right? But, and this is not financial advice. I literally, what I'm saying? I didn't study this, but this is just from my personal experience. I invest heavily into the S&P 500. If you don't know what that is, it's basically the top 500 companies, according to, I can't remember what S&P stands for. I'm blanking on it. But it's basically the simplest terms, top 500 companies, and the money you're investing is investing into little portions of all those companies, and it's doing it for you, right? So, it's the safest thing that you can do with starting investing, in my opinion. Yes, have your money in a high yield savings account if you're not gonna invest a bunch of it, but S&P 500 after that is, in my opinion, the safest thing. You can get a CD and get a higher percentage yield or whatever, and a bond. I think there's bonds, stuff like that. But the S&P 500 is so safe, dude. I've literally it averages a 10% yield, I think, per year, a 10% return on your investment. So yeah, that's where I have most of my money. I also experiment with individual stocks sometimes. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on investing, and while you're young, it's good to be more risky to a point, right? I am a little risky with my investments sometimes. I'll put a bunch of money into a stock that's saying it's gonna do well or whatever, but I like to stay away from that a little bit, because I don't want to see my money go down. You know what I'm saying? I can see the benefits of being risky because it can have a high return, but I don't know, I've never been like that. I've always been the person that is super stingy with their money. Like, I save a lot. I don't spend much money. I research things a ton before buying them. Like, dude, when I was like, dude, I don't even know how old, when I was buying Legos. Like, when my parents would take me to the store and, like, let me buy one set of Legos or something like that, I would sit in that aisle for so long. It's crazy, dude. I would just sit there and wait and research I would look at the back of the boxes, you know what I'm saying? So I've always been like that. And, where was I going with this? Oh, that I'm, like, just not risky with my money. So, that's why I like to invest, in ways that are less risky. So, yeah. Investing is great. I usually see, dude, investing is crazy. I will wake up some mornings and I will see, like, just plus $1,000. That's insane. And that would not happen if I just had all of my money in a high yield savings account. Yes, it's going to gain money over time, but not even half of what you're going to gain by having it in, like, a slightly riskier thing like the S&P 500. Like, I use SoFi for banking, for the most part, because they at one point had a fantastic, like, yearly, like, yield, whatever, APY, I think is what's called. But even like a 4% or like a 4.5% APY, that's great, dude. If you can find a bank account to put money in that's great. Put your emergency fund in that account and just let it sit there. But in my opinion, anything past your emergency fund or something you're saving up for example, like, I just got a car. So I had a bunch of money just in my savings account because I wanted to buy a car. I didn't want to invest it. So, like, but then I also had my emergency fund. So, emergency fund, if you don't know what emergency fund is, basically it's 3 to 6 months usually of your emergency expenses. If you stopped making money right now and everything got ripped away from you, it's basically the money that you would need to live in your current situation for another 3 to 6 months. So for me, that's about $10,000 at all times I have sitting in my savings account that I will never touch. It will always be about that. It doesn't always stay at 10,000 because sometimes I buy something that's a little more than expected, or, like, you know, I don't get paid until after I have to pay rent or whatever. So I usually have about 10,000, which is my savings, my emergency fund in that account. And then everything else is invested. That's what I would recommend doing, no matter, honestly, what age you are, is that kind of mindset of everything else you invest. And it's different for me because I am an entrepreneur. I don't have a 9 to 5. I get paid online monthly, and I make enough where I can invest like a decent quantity each month. If you have a 9 to 5, you get paid maybe bi-weekly or something like that, which I was still saving money. You know, when I worked at Walmart for a little while before I was an entrepreneur, and I was still saving some money out of that paycheck every time, every single time, dude. Save as much as you can, and if you feel like you can't save anything right now out of your paycheck, think about the little purchases you're making. For example, a coffee, dude, $5 a day. Think about that, dude. That totals up so fast. If you can find a little, even a subscription. I have no subscriptions to streaming companies like Netflix or Disney Plus or Amazon Video. You know, like, I don't have subscription to those things, and that saves me like $50 a month. So even if I wasn't making the money I'm making, I could still find that $50 and save it out of my paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So find the little things that you're reoccurring paying for that you don't need to pay for. Those little, like, random things in life that you're just paying for just because they're, like, you know what I'm saying? for Netflix, you could try and, I know they're kind of cracking down on it, but log in to someone else's Netflix or use a totally legal streaming site. There's a bunch of them out there. You know what I'm saying? Just save yourself some money and start investing that slowly but surely. It will compound eventually. Yeah, I'm almost done with my drive, so I don't have a whole lot else to talk about, but bottom line is, start investing. Doesn't matter how much it is. Invest. If you're young, maybe do some more riskier investments in terms of like individual stocks. By the way, I still have a Roth IRA. I don't invest in that a ton because me personally, I don't feel like it's that worth it. I have a Roth IRA. I had a 401k when I was at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? There's other investments that I have. It's not just the things that I talked about, but yeah, invest, dude. Start investing, and it will compound eventually. Your future self will thank you for it. And yeah, I will see you guys probably tomorrow.